Welcome to the history of Mr. TravelON. Welcome to Longbridge. Yes, this is where I grew up essentially, and I'm back to have a little look around. Today, we are driving around my old area in a Porsche. Yes, indeed. How far has Mr. TravelON come? Well, I'm hardly a rich person. I'm rich in the fact that I live on a beautiful island. I've got a beautiful family. And you know me, well, I don't spend money, even if I had it anyway. But I did grow up in a council area around the Longbridge, Westheath, Northfield area. So I thought, why not come back and have a little look around? My old mucker Carl, my only friend in the world, he's going to pick me up in the Porsche. We're going to go for a little drive all the way around my old areas. And I'll tell you some funny stories about what Mr. TravelON used to get up to. We're starting here in Longbridge. I'm going to go for a walk that way. I'm going to show you this place here. And the Rover factory has disappeared. No more Rover factory. I'm going to show you exactly what it is now. Come on, let's go. Behind me in this area was the local shops, the barbers that I used to go to, Norman's Barbershop, and this place behind me. Now, I know it's naughty, but I did go through a tiny little phase of shoplifting. Back in the day, I must have been about 10, 11, something like that. And it was this place here that put a stop to it. Now, when I say shoplifting, I mean, I wasn't, you know, stealing meat and stuff like that. Just little sweets now and again, a couple of little sweets in the pocket. But I don't know what it was, but I went in there and put a receipt book in my pocket. And the lady caught me. I absolutely crapped myself. So every time I walked past here with my mum, I used to wait outside because she never knew. I wonder if she ever knew. I don't think I've ever told her. She bloody does now. Shoplifting in that shop. Well, it put a stop to my shoplifting days anyway. So I actually cannot believe that this place is still here. The Greenland's Inn. It was the Greenland Social Club. And it's still here, look. Does food and drink now. This was like the workings man's club. And we used to come down here quite often, well, to get cheap booze. Now, for those of you that frequented the Greenland Social Club when I was a lad, I must apologise for my disgraceful behaviour. I did like a drink or two, and I also liked taking my clothes off when I was drunk. And it was actually in the Greenland Sports and Social Club that I went full Monty, yes, with my mother sat there. I tell you what, you lot think Mr. TravelON is an angel, don't you? It's only because I'm teetotal now. But on a typical Friday night, it could have been a Thursday night, I don't know what night it was, but the Full Monty song came on, and what did Mr. TravelON do? He went full Monty in the Greenland Sports and Social Club. I do apologise. I do blame my mother though, because she wasn't telling me to stop. She was too busy laughing. So look at this. So this used to be the Rover factory. If anybody is of that age that remembers, this was a huge area making Rover cars, obviously supporting the community with loads of jobs. And I think it closed down just when I left the UK. And now look, it's just sort of, well, it's a huge retail park. I'll show you this way. I mean, it looks quite nice. When you come out of the sticks back there, I mean, it's a little bit rough that way. And then you come into this way and it looks quite posh, doesn't it? So I do enjoy coming back to Birmingham and having a little look around. I actually quite like the cold weather just for a change. But it does sort of open your eyes that even when I was on the train, you go from sort of rough areas to beautiful sort of rich areas. In fact, I missed the stop getting off at the Longbridge train station and I ended up in Barnt Green. It was literally 2 minutes on the train down the road, and that place was like a different world, you know? Big, beautiful, rich houses, rural locations, and then a couple of minutes down the road, you're in the middle of this, where it's not really an affluent area. There's some likely characters around, and then literally here, you've got these big, beautiful modern buildings. What a strange world we live in. So it says here, South and City College, Birmingham. So it must be a college area. Anybody knows what this actual place is, let me know. I will try and find out, look. But you've got a reception conference area. What a strange place to build a college. So there you go. It's just a college. I just went in and spoke to a guy. I said, what is it? He said, it's a college. So there you go. College area. I don't know what you study there. Not like a university. I did say, is it like where people live and stuff like that? And he said, no, it's just like a day college. But it is a nice area. I'll tell you what, college or no college and modern buildings, well, it's still rough as old boots around here, and there's a lot of characters walking around that you can just tell are under the influence of something and giving me the side eye. I mean, as a kid growing up here, it wasn't really a safe place anyway, but when you're part of that community, you tend to know who the dodgy people are, and you tend to sort of navigate your way around. But when you don't know, it can be quite scary. I've had all sorts looking at me, so I'm waiting for the Porsche to come and pick me up, and then we can drive around in style, and I'll just be able to put the camera out the window. But we're up in the Rednall area, and this is where I bought my first property. So this whole area here literally used to be factories, used to keep so many people employed, and now it just looks like, I don't know, residential buildings. But this is where Mr. TravelON bought his first ever property, and I'm going to show you. It's just up here, and I can also see the Big M, the McDonald's where I used to work. I can't wait to see that. Behind me was the first place I ever bought. I paid £43,000 for it, and when I left the UK, I sold it for 75 and paid off all my debts. Why did I have debts? Well, I drove a left-hand drive Audi TT, which I couldn't afford, and lived in a place where I could barely afford. So I was glad to get the debts paid off and move abroad for a naughty life as an 18 to 30s rep. I'm not going to show you which flat it is, because obviously somebody's living there and I don't want to film anybody's house, but I'll give you a little look. There it is, look, Acorn House. It was actually quite a nice flat, and it was in this area here, look. And just over there was an Indian, the Royal Indian. Many an Indian in there. But there you go, that brings back some memories. So if any of you did live in Acorn House from sort of 2000 to 2003, I do apologise. I wasn't the best neighbour. To be honest, I was quiet Monday to Friday, but occasionally noisy on a Saturday. Jeez, the life of Mr. TravelON. I tell you what, there was a reason I went teetotal, and I do wonder where my life would be now if I still drank alcohol. Now, I know loads of my followers like a tipple or two. By all means, I was no alcoholic. I only drank on the weekends, but when I say drank, it started Friday, it ended Sunday. There was no rest in between. And then it would be Monday to Thursday, feeling absolutely like death. Recovering Thursday evening and back on it Friday. It was a vicious circle. And I just stopped. I literally one day woke up and said, this is not good for me. I am stopping. I did the same with smoking as well. With Mr. TravelON, it's all or nothing. And I just literally stopped as fast as I started. But they do say people with that mentality of an all or nothing and a sort of addictive mentality. So I was addicted to smoking and drinking heavily over the weekends, but I just changed to being addicted to giving up and not drinking ever again. And if you have got that sort of mentality, just try and switch it, because you can be addicted to things that are actually good for you. Anyway, this isn't an AA meeting, is it? But if you do want any advice on giving up drinking, smoking, anything else you might be on, drop me a message. I'll be more than glad to tell you my story and how I managed to do it. By all means, like I said, I wasn't really hooked on anything. I was just a bloody lunatic. I still am, but just a sober one. So here we are in the Rednall area, and this was my favourite job in the whole world. I absolutely loved working at McDonald's. I'm going to take you in and show you, see if we can speak to anybody. I doubt it. So come on, let's head into McDonald's. Behind me is the off licence as well that I used to get all my booze from. Yeah, we used to get the 62 bus into Birmingham city centre, and before we did, we used to go in the off licence, and I used to drink, well, whatever I fancied. We would just pick whatever was cheap at the time. It was mainly sherry, believe it or not, a full litre of sherry on the way to Birmingham city centre. But it'd save us a pretty penny because we wouldn't be buying too much booze in the bars. So here it is, McDonald's Rednall, the drive-through. I've got to take you on a little walk around this place, and then we'll go and sit inside. It's a busy old time at drive-through, but this is where I used to work. Wow, brings back so many good memories here, I'll be honest with you. So it was always a busy McDonald's, and Mr. TravelON holds the record. I wonder if I still do. I'm going to have to see if I can ask someone. Holds the record for the fastest drive-through in a day. I won, I think, £50 Boots vouchers. But this is it. This is where it all started. Back in my day, you just drove to the window and spoke to Mr. TravelON, who would take your order, process it, and put it through. But wow, this is bringing back so many memories. It's always good to visit where you came from, I think. It certainly makes you remember your youth. Right, I'm going to go and get warm in there and wait for me old mucker Carl in the Porsche. Right then, it's time to get some style. The Porsche has arrived. We are going to go round and show you where Mr. TravelON grew up. Come on. Here he is, the only mate that I've ever had in my life. Well, the only one I keep in touch with. And we're in the Porsche. We're going proper posh. We're going to take you back to our roots. Look where we are now, in style. Come on. So here I am outside my school. Yes, I went to an all-boys school. This is probably why I'm a little bit crazy. But we've come on a day where the school is closed, because the last thing you want is Mr. TravelON bowling around filming school kids. So it's a Sunday. Turfs Green Ball School is here, and down the road was the girls' school right next door. Dangerous ground, because we used to head down there, obviously, to chase the girls. But this place has changed. It's super, super modern now. Wow, brings back incredible memories. I recommend you all doing this. Go back to your roots. Must have been a good school. Look, it says it's incredible high expectations for its pupils. Yes, indeed. He was the naughty pupil. I was the good one. You were naughty.
I wasn't. You were a boffin.
I was a boffin. There was the entrance. So the entrance used to be down here, a little car park. It's a lot more modern. Now, you know, Mr. TravelON does try and keep fit, and I've been trying to build my biceps since a very young age. But at one time, I did have some quite big biceps, and I was quite a beefy young lad, and it was here at the Ironworks gym in Kings Norton where it all began. I tell you what, this place is the best gym in the world. It's full of meatheads, and it's proper motivational. It's open on a Sunday. You can hear the music going. Oh, what a place. So I don't want to go in there because there's people training, but look at that for a gym. Proper. So I was just speaking to the bloke there, same thing, same music, same iron pumping, the iron works, and both of us used to hang down here. I'm going to tell him he needs to get back down there. Mate, you need to get back down there. Look, he's eating Mentos. Put the Mentos down, get back in the ironworks.
Did you see Darren?
No, I didn't, but mate, the place is full of meatheads.
Full of meatheads, yeah.
He used to go there as well. He was always a bigger meathead than me, I tell you. Now look at us. I think we need to change, don't you?
We do.
We're back in our roots. Come on, we're going to go further afield. I don't know where. So we're just entering Northfield now. This is where the big shopping centre was. And I think here was the YMCA. Yes, the YMCA. Many a night in there. They used to have an under-16s disco, Carnage. If you were lucky enough to get a date with Mr. TravelON back in the day, because I didn't tend to date, well, I might have brought you here. This is the cinema complex in Ruby Rednall. And I do remember being here, and I used to drive a Rover convertible, and it actually got stolen from this exact car park whilst I was on a date with a young lady. Needless to say, it ruined my night. So here we go, look, Sonic 3's on, and this is the Omniplex Cinema. The big area around here. And they've also got a Frankie and Benny's round the corner. So there you go. That was a little blast from the past of Mr. TravelON's life with this one here. I tell you,
reliving our youth, mate.
It's been good though, hasn't it?
It has. It's been really good.
Honestly, if you want to sort of go back in time and see how and where you came from, do it with a good mate like this. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
We have had an absolute scream. Most of it we couldn't put on camera, obviously. We don't want to let too many secrets go. But we've shared stories from the past, remembered people from school, teachers' names.
Yeah.
Mr. Godwin, Mr. Deakin, God, Mr. Lucas, Squarehead, Saggy Pants, all the nicknames from, from the old school teachers. But it's certainly a good thing to do. Clear your mind and get back to your roots and see exactly where you came from. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, follow and subscribe. I've let you in to the real life of Mr. TravelON, but at least we did it in style in the Super Porsche. See you in the next one. See you later.
See you later.